Everyone argues about the best One Piece episode, Marineford, Wano, Roof Piece, but I swear the real answer is Enies Lobby. Specifically, that stretch around episode 278, when Robin finally screams, "I want to live," with the world government flag burning above her. On paper, it's just the Straw Hats rescuing a crewmate, another daring raid, Luffy punching some government dog in a pigeon suit. But if you look closer, that episode is actually the moment One Piece stops being a pirate adventure and becomes a promise. Because this doesn't start on Enies Lobby's bridge, it starts back in Water 7, with Mary breaking, Usopp leaving, and Robin disappearing. You remember that, right? Luffy standing in the rain, hat shadowing his eyes, forced to choose between sentimentality and moving forward. They lose a ship, they lose a sniper, and then, silently, they lose Robin, who voluntarily walks away to protect them. Canon says she's surrendering to CP9, to Spandam, to the Ohara trauma that told her she's a demon the world must erase. The twist is this. The best episode isn't about Luffy getting stronger, it's about Robin deciding she deserves to be saved. Watch how Oda builds it. Every flashback in Ohara, every devil child whisper, every time she quietly smiles instead of truly relaxing. In Water 7, when she seems to betray the crew, it's really her trying to die somewhere they won't be blamed. She believes the world's justice is absolute and that her existence automatically writes everyone around her on the execution list. So when the Straw Hats arrive at Enies Lobby, yelling through the storm, they're not just fighting Marines, they're fighting Robin's entire worldview. That's why Luffy doesn't sneak in. He has Soga King literally shoot down the world government flag like a declaration to the planet. Sniper King, shoot down that flag. One line, and suddenly this isn't a rescue mission, it's a war against the idea she's unworthy. Here's where it gets crazy. Before Robin says anything, the crew has already chosen her over the entire world's definition of justice. They don't know the full Ohara story yet. They don't know about Clover, Saul, or the scholars burning with their books. All they know is that their friend is crying behind stone walls, and that's enough to make enemies of the strongest power alive. So when the Straw Hats arrive at Enies Lobby, yelling through the storm, they're not just fighting Marines, they're fighting Robin's entire worldview.
And the beauty is, she doesn't ask to be strong or feared or legendary. She asks for the bare minimum, life. Look at the crew's faces in that moment. Luffy grinning, Nami sobbing, Usopp stunned behind the mask, like finally, she chose us. That bridge scene quietly flips the series' core question. It's no longer will Luffy become Pirate King, but who deserves to be free? And Oda answers with insanity. The government says she's a demon, so the Straw Hats respond by declaring war on the world's symbol. From there, the episode becomes a test of that promise. Luffy versus Lucci, rubber versus Rokushiki, willpower versus institutional violence. Gear second steaming, blood pumping like a locomotive, Luffy repeatedly standing back up while Lucci keeps asking why he fights so hard. Listen to what Luffy doesn't say. He never gives some big ideology, he boils it down to, because she's my friend. That's One Piece distilled. No treaties, no manifestos, just a captain who'll punch a government assassin until reality matches what his heart decided. And this is the part fans argue about endlessly. Is the peak the "I want to live" scream or the final jet Gatling? Personally, I think they're the same heartbeat. Her choosing life and him beating Lucci are two halves of one shared decision. Now add the quiet epilogue to this stretch, the Going Merry sailing herself to Enies Lobby through impossible seas, answering their call. Robin wanted to live, Mary wanted to sail more. Both, for the first time, speak their hearts and are lovingly let go. On that burning Viking funeral, when Luffy apologizes to Mary, you realize this best episode is about how they treat those who choose them. It's not just hype, it's a blueprint for every future rescue. Impel Down, Marineford, Wano, Luffy crashing into systems that decide who's allowed to exist. Rewatch Dressrosa or Whole Cake Island after Enies Lobby and you'll see it. He's basically replaying Robin's choice with Law, with Sanji. He keeps saying over and over, say what you want, I'll believe you, I'll fight reality until your wish is real. So is the best One Piece episode the one with the biggest explosion, or the one where a woman finally whispers she wants tomorrow? You remember where you were the first time you heard, I want to live, right? Your chest got tight without knowing why. Because deep down, you're not just watching Robin, you're watching the part of you that thinks it's a burden asked to stay. Tell me your pick. Is Enies Lobby peak One Piece for you, or does another episode carry your I want to live moment?